Hello everyone. Hello everyone. My name is Gnanaraju. I am a 20K Senior Executive President team member from Herbalife Nutrition India, working for last 18 years. It's my pleasure to present this video called "How to Win Friends and Influence People." This video definitely will be lot great value addition to you and your family. So let me explain through my slides, my presentation. So winning friends and influence people. This by and large, I taken from this book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And Warren Buffett is a billionaire, is a topmost, richest man in the, he always usually comes in the top 10. So he considers his secret of his wealth is because of this book, is in his training. So this video will be definitely be helpful for you, for all the business people, for attracting customers, for employers and employees, and in family for parents to groom their children, for everyone who wants to maintain good relations with everyone or anyone. So this is so much of helpful for maintaining good relations, and particularly winning people. When you win the people, you maintain good relations. So when the good relations translate into business for some people, translate into very lot of things in the life. So that's the reason why this video will be very very helpful for you. But before that, let me explain about myself. I was a Group 1 officer under Government of Andhra Pradesh, worked there for 10 years. I am also nutritionist and fitness consultant and personal wellness coach for the past 18 years. I'm a certified nutrition fitness consultant and sports nutrition consultant and exercise science specialist, and also certification American Society of Nutrition. And I'm a marathon runner and cyclist and CPR AAD certified Zumba and Strong by Zumba instructor. Before coming to Herbalife, I was a government officer, Group 1 officer. You can see me there. I was having big tummy, and this was me there as a district registrar. I used to go in the morning and come back by night. I don't give my time to my wife, so that was the reason why I had to come to Herbalife, because my wife was just looking for something to do, earn extra income. So now you can see me there. Morning I go and come back by night. That was my situation. So now I was having my own tight schedule, and that actually my wife was looking for something to earn extra income. That's the reason why we came across this company called Herbalife Nutrition. And after using the product, she lost amazing weight. You can see her looking better. She is now 43 years. In that picture left side, she is only 22 years. You can see the left side picture, 22 years, now 43 plus, right? So after 20 years, you can see the transformation. Myself lost weight. I lost 12 kilos in 2.5 months, and from almost 18 years back, and I kept it off and maintaining same way. So this is what can happen to you from fitness to fatness, and we transform a lot. We day to day we interact with a lot of people. Particularly, I have my children, say they grown taller. So grooming the children also a big task. So that's the reason why I learned a lot of lessons. How to be like a better parent. And my wife lost weight. You can see her, and this how our journey into this company. We really in touch with a lot of people. You require to know about people skills. When you know the people skills, you are almost conquer the world, right? So I always teach the fish how to we give the skills, skills training, how to teach fish, but we don't give the fish to eat, right? So we have a lot of people, about 40,000 people in my organization. We touch them, we train them. And I'm also a corporate speaker. I keep on traveling across the across India. Also in certain times, I am also international speaker. So we keep on giving trainings and lectures, and as a guest speaker, we inspire people with with real life skills and public speaking skills, communication skills, and time management, and many things in money management, and so on. So now my personally, I do half marathon running, 21 kilometers. I'm a triathlete, and also do 40-kilometer cycling. And my wife also does different kind of workouts. And recently my wife got award, award called Woman for Golden Telangana, and we got lifetime achievement award also from Herbalife Nutrition. So we keep on traveling across. We keep on, our income is in 7 digits. We inspire people more than money. I get a lot of blessings every day because we are into nutrition, fitness, and health. So we serve a lot of people. Serving the people gives us more happiness. So we keep getting annual bonus also, and we keep traveling to different countries, including Australia. This is in Paradise Island, Bahamas. This is in Egypt. This is in Hawaii submarine. This is in Maldives. Along with our children, we traveled in cruise and Dubai vacation and Hong Kong. and this is in Bali, Indonesia. This is in Phuket, Thailand. This is in Abu Dhabi. This is in Singapore. This is in Istanbul, Turkey. So you can see we our children grown taller and we are looking better. So basically, I was administrator there. I was like a boss. Now here is the requirement of a leader. A true leader has to inspire, lead by example. So a lot of there in as a boss, I used to give orders. I don't require to follow. But whereas here, first I have to follow, then I have to implement, then I have to ask my people to follow. So before and after, lot of picture, lot of change and a lot of transformation is there in myself. And we've been with our brand ambassador Mary Com and our brand ambassador Virat Kohli. We had lunch with Virat Kohli with our family. You can see there, and also associated a lot of topmost doctors and scientists and nutritionists. And throughout the world, we keep traveling. And Dr. David Huber, Dr. John Agnobi is there, world famous doctors and scientists. And Dr. John Agnobi is currently our company CEO. He also worked as a health secretary in White House, and he is a gentleman, 17th Surgeon General of America, Dr. Richard Henry Carmona, a wonderful person. So we happen to meet wonderful leaders. He's also as a leader inspired his American Army. So a lot of things were there. So they actually helped me to understand more about how to win people, how to get the things done in a proper way without friction, proper way using our skills. So this book actually helped me also to grow my people, and I will give you some more tips alongside. So there are 5 chapters in this: fundamental techniques in handling people, how to make people like you, how to win people to your way of thinking, how to change people without giving offense or arouse resentment. So let me go step by step in the first part. Part one, fundamental techniques in handling people. There are 3 principles in this. Number one is don't criticize, condemn, or complain. First one is you should not criticize, condemn, or complain. Number two principle is give honest and sincere appreciation. Number three principle is arouse in the other person an eager want. Let me explain one by one. So Charles Schwab is actually picked up by Andrew Carnegie. Those days, Andrew Carnegie is considered as a big billionaire. He's like a steel magnate. So he employed Mr. Charles Schwab. He's actually not in a great 50s or 60s, just only 38 years old. So, but he used to pay so much of huge salary. You know why? Because not that he is a great in steel manufacturing, because not that he's a genius in other things. He only knows about people, handling people. So that's the reason why he paid so much money. So this is the point we were talking about. Charles Schwab always says, I'm hearty in my approbation, lavish in my praise. So he was paid those days. 1 million is huge money that time, right? Now it is something about maybe 10 times of that money. So much money, how they are paid? Because of public speaking skill, public maintenance skill, public relation skills. So if you know how to talk to people, you won the world. Okay. So first one is you don't criticize, condemn, or complain. If you want to gather honey, don't kick over the beehive. Very important, interesting principle, correct? So this is what animal reward, when people wanted to train the animals like dogs or lions or tigers or dolphins or elephants. So what they do, they try to reward them, reward for the good behavior. So for all the things it does, for the good behavior they keep on rewarding. That's how they get trained, right? So but they don't punish it. Same behavior is applicable to human beings also. If you want to change your child or change your customer attitude or associate distributor attitude, what you have to do is you have to keep on giving for the good behavior some kind of rewards. So story of a wife who asked her husband to give 6 things she can improve on. So one story in this very nicely explained that one wife asks her husband, can you give me 6 points where I can improve on? But husband says, honey, you don't require to change anything. I love you as you are. So leave about 6. I cannot find a one fault also, though there are faults, but he don't want to explain, because that's not the way. By criticizing or condemning or complaining, you will never change a person. Only by appreciating you change a person. Okay. So number two, the big secret of dealing. So that time wife turned into tears, and they became more closer. So slowly, definitely they will transform over a period of time. Give people a feeling of importance. Be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise. Don't be greedy in your praise. Be liberal, be give the happy comfort of They let them enjoy the luxury of that praise. Approbation means appraising. You are actually appreciating their effort, appreciating their skills, right? So this is very important. Many people, they don't talk, they don't appreciate. People always crave for that appreciation. For craving sake, people always do even criminal things, criminal activities also. Like for example, they people join the gangs, they join Naxalites, there's some kind of movement. They want some kind of adventure, right? Some people have the for craving, bigger, different kind of lifestyle, different kind of hairstyle. Okay, different way people try to behave to attract people's attention, right? Some people have the tattoo, some people have earrings. So they try to have this latest cars. They talk about brilliance of their children. So people want craving. So that's the reason why you have to be sincere and give honest appreciation. Okay, so this is very important. Always loath to find fault, hate to find fault, always be anxious to praise. Okay, and if you like anything, give praise, give appreciate them. Any skills are the way they are, their good manners, behavior, right? But what average people do, they do exactly opposite. So but there is a difference between flattery and appreciation. Appreciation from the heart, real thing, okay, not for a fake thing. Flattery is for a fake thing, like a fake currency. We don't want flattery, we want appreciation. Appreciation of what genuinely things happening. People don't appreciate only, this is the problem. Okay, so it should come from the heart, genuine. Okay, you're talking genuinely, but not like, flattery is like a cheating. We don't want flattery, but genuinely appreciate. If the dress is nice, appreciate it. If they are they're calm, appreciate. Whatever they have, whatever you feel like appreciating them, appreciate liberally. Okay, so genuinely, nothing pleases children more than this kind of parental interest and approval. So when you give proper approval to the children's good behavior, they always love that. Children expect from the parents. But many parents, they don't give this. They always try to find fault. So that's unfortunately very bad philosophy. So actually there is a survey happened on running wives who ran from their husbands. They try to find out what is the reason why wives are running out. They found out key because of this problem, that husbands don't appreciate only for anything, all the time blaming, finding fault. That's the reason why wives ran away from their husbands. So how their families are broken. See, so just because of this, just appreciation. Everybody craves for appreciation, right? So number third point, arouse in the other person an eager one. Instead of you asking, asking them to do this thing, you actually reverse it. Arouse in other person an eager one. This is the principle number three. So necessity to bait the hook to suit the fish. Fish likes worm only. Fish likes earthworm as a bait, but it doesn't like gulab jam. It doesn't like laddu. It doesn't like heart, other samosa. It likes only worm or the earthworm, right? So why is like that? It likes. So you have to give what it likes only. So you shouldn't give what you like. Very important. Okay. So therefore, you don't require to sell to the customer. You just have to give them what all the choices you have. They let them find out. So we'll buy, and customer like to feel that they are buying, not being sold. Yet many salespeople spend a lifetime in selling without seeing things from the customer's angle. So you should see from the customer angle what kind of things he wanted from your choices. So show them and try to understand him and let him buy instead of you selling it. So then you are actually you are winner. Each party should gain from the negotiation. It's called in MBA language win-win, not win-lose or lose-win. It is win-win. I win, you also win. It's not I lose and you win, nor you lose and I win. It should be win-win. You also win, I also win. Then the real business will happen. So please watch your conversation in while sending your SMS and emails and Facebook and WhatsApp and Instagram updates. How you are talking to people. This is very important. Okay. So there is also one more story called Emerson Coffsense. I'll explain to you a little while now. A LKG student, how he sent to school to by his parents. This is one more interesting story given in the book. So what is that is LKG student don't want to go to school. They thinking that something harm will happen. So parents, what they are started doing every day, one thing which is going to happen in the school, they start doing. One day they were painting it. One day they are trying to tell the story. One day they used to tell all these things. this painting and drawing and all these things you are going to see much more in the school. So I'm going to go to school. Do you want to come? They say, yeah, 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 I want to come. So that's how they attract what they wanted, what children wanted. That's how they, pull the, child to the school. Instead of pushing them, they pulled in, attracted them, right? So same way. So there is one more interesting thing happened with Andrew Carnegie's nephew. So what happened was, Andrew Carnegie's, relatives. So they were actually worried because their children who are there in the far away in the studying in this hostel, they were not responding to those days. These phone calls are not there, and ISD, these are not much, into vogue. So those days, so they only they used to write a letter and post, and they used to get the reply. So they were worried because in spite of writing, some parents are writing so many letters, but children are not responding. So one day, what Andrew Carnegie thought was, so let me test them how to get their answer. Parents are worried whether children are there or no. They are, why they are not responding in spite of a lot of delay. So what he did was he written a letter saying, "Ki, dear children, I am sending say 5,000 rupees notes in this cover envelope, and as soon as you receive it, you can spend it off for your daily purposes, maybe for your expenditure, and just to inform me that you say you received this 5,000 rupees." So this is how he written, and he did not put the money inside, and he posted the cover. Immediately reply came from the children, "Uncle, uncle, we did not receive the money. I think somebody stole the money." So then they got, parents got confirmation key. So the children are there. So see, what children, they responded when they wanted, not when parents were asking. So this is very important. That's how you can learn the lessons. Okay. So this Emerson's way of, attracting the, calf. See, the calf wanted, the farmers knows the technique. The calf needed to be pulled to the mother, but calf is not coming in spite of pushing and pulling. The baby will need to come to, calf need to come to the cow. Na? So for drinking milk, it's not coming in spite of pushing or pulling. So what he did, Emerson, a farmer came and showed Emerson why unnecessarily do all these things. It's very simple. Just to put one, finger into the mouth of the calf, then it will automatically come. It understands that it wants that milk, so naturally it will be pulled into the mother's place. So that is so simple. You have to give him what it wanted. So previously was pushing and doing all kinds of things, but unable to influence the calf. Whereas now, just by attracting with the finger, you could able to handle it. So these are the three principles. Number one, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Number two, give honest and sincere appreciation. Number three, arouse in the other person an eager one, right? Now, part two, 6 ways to make people like you. So these are the 6 principles attached to part two. Number one, become genuinely interested in other people. Okay. Number two, smile. Number three, remember that a person's name is that person is the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Number four, be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about them. Number five, talk in terms of the other person's interest. Number six, make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. Okay, let me explain one by one principle. So number one, become genuinely interested in other people. Okay, so you are welcomed anywhere if you are interested in other people. So people will be interested in you if you are interested in them. So first you have to show interest in them. Many people do reverse. What they do, first they want their attraction. They want everybody to be attracted towards them. No, first you have to create interest in them, then they get interest in you. So very important. So greet people with animation and enthusiasm, like how dogs, if you go to dogs, if you go to dog after, after a while, what it does, it will greet, it will, jump on you, it will lick it with its tongue. It try to kiss also, it will also jump on you with lot of animation, means lot of, energy. So you can learn a lot from this gesture. You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming genuinely interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. So instead of waiting for somebody to show interest in you, you show more interest in other people. Okay, like your people, your distributors or customers or your children for that matter. Okay, show more interest. Thousands of salespeople are pounding the pavement today, tired, discouraged, and underpaid. Many salespeople are now they did not understand this principle. They always try to impress upon the customers. That's why they're not reaching their targets, because they're always thinking only of what they want all the time. How shall I, influence people? How shall I, improve my sales? That's what they focus, instead of focusing on how can I serve more people, how can I show what they wanted. But both of us are eternally interested in solving our problems, so we have to help, we have to show more interest in helping the people instead of only selling the product or service. And if salespeople can show us how their services are merchandise will help us solve our problems, they won't need to sell us. Well, we all will buy, and customers like to feel that they are buying, not being sold. This is very important. So I already explained to you this thing. The third principle is how to make first impression is smile. You don't get a second chance to get the first impression. Okay, so always first impression is the best impression and lasting impression. So that's the reason why you have to keep on smiling. With a smile gesture, you actually you can touch many people's lives. Okay, so your smile is very contagious. You can touch many people, you can influence many people. So I will share the story of the sun and frowning a little while now. So let us go to the smile part. A Chinese proverb says, "A man without smiling face must not open a shop." Meaning, if you don't know how to smile, don't open a shop. Meaning, without smile, you cannot do any business. So you are fit for doing a job, not a business. So for business, smiling is important. Initially, I came from government job, so it was very tough for me to smile. So my sponsor told me how to smile. They said action seems to follow feeling. So that feeling of smile is not coming. Then how to smile? He showed me just to feel that, try to act as if we are smiling, that then feeling will come. So feeling will come after the action. So he showed me how to show teeth. That action slowly made me to feel smiling. So two people may be in the same place doing the same thing, but both may have about equal amount of money and prestige. Suppose they have both the amount of equal prestige and money and wealth and working in the same company, same place, but one may be miserable, very bad. Okay, one may be very joyous, happy. So what is the reason? They choose it. So you have to choose to smile, otherwise nothing will happen. You have to feel that kind of happiness. So number next point is, a person's name is the sweetest sound to that person. So beware of the magic in a name. Beware. So when you call a person by name, so the person will become flattered. God always calls us by name, it seems. So when God calls us by name, why not we call other person by name? So by one person, if you call, he thinks, I'm very important. So that's the reason why very important libraries and museums are there. Many roads are dedicated on person's name, right? Many libraries, if you see these libraries is so and so person's library, museum is so and so person. So many people do charity for the sake of name. Okay, so that's the reason why take time to and energy to how to pronounce that name, how to remember that name. So try to remember the name so that you can really touch many people's lives, your downlines, your associate, customers, and your team members, maybe your children names or maybe your relatives names, everybody names you have to remember. Number four, an easy way to become good conversationalist is a good listener first. Okay, encourage others to talk about themselves. Instead of you talking all the time, be a good listener first. Okay, listen more, let other people talk. Then that's how you win over them. Many people, what they do exactly reverse. Be attentive listener. When you listen, also be attentive, not a passive listener, be active listener. To be interesting, be interested. Meaning what? To you want to be sounding more interesting, first to be interested in other people. Ask questions that other persons will enjoy answering. So encourage them to talk about themselves and their accomplishments. People, when you ask them, they wanted to talk for hours. Then at the end they say, now I spoke a lot about myself. Now you tell me, sir. Then they try to listen to you. A person's toothache means more to that person than a famine in China, which kills a millions of people. A boil on one's neck interests more than 40 earthquakes in Africa. Yes or no? So next time, remember when you talk to people, remember your pain is more important than other people's, other countries, pain. Maybe somewhere something is happening. So we talk about that person's important, the pain and the problems and how he feels. then he will come back to you. Okay, so when you're talking, when you are talking, first try to listen intently. Okay, and listen and keep on asking questions also, show your expressions also. That's called your actively listening. Each time you show your facial feeling, that body language, it's called active listening. It shouldn't be like you are listening but you are swapping your cell phone. Okay, swiping your cell phone or browsing through internet. That's not active listening. When you are talking with all attention, listen and body language, keep asking questions. That's how you're supposed to be think. So actions speak louder than words. Always smile. A smile gives that, that I like you, you make me happy, I'm glad to see you. So your body language and your smile and attentive language always gives the other opposite person very interesting look, and they'll show more interest towards you. The fifth one, how to interest people, talk in terms of other man's interest. Okay, meaning let other people, whatever things they are interested in. Some people are interested in money, some people are interested in computers, some people are interested in nature, some people are interested in music and arts, some people are interested in science, some people are interested in law and reading. So talk in their subjects. So learn to talk to any kind of people, learn to be associated with different kind of people, learn to talk to children, different age groups, housewives and students. They have different kind of subjects. So try to interact with different kind of people by connecting with them, right? So principle 5, talk in terms of other person's interest. And 6, how to make people like you instantly. Make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. Do it sincerely, not that insincere flattery. No, we want sincere appreciation. So make him king, make her queen. When you are talking, make her feel that other person is very important for me. So listen intently, come lean forward and show patiently and gladly listen. That's how you make other person more important. That's how the other person also shows same reciprocity towards you. Whenever Roosevelt expected a visitor, he sat up late in the night before reading up on the subject in which he knew his guest was particularly interested. So Theodore Roosevelt, one of the presidents of America, right? So he used to make homework. What the next visitor is going to come? What are his interests? How can I impress upon him? So that kind, he make homework. So this will be very good attitude actually. So how to create interest in people? Be a good listener, give rapt attention, talk in terms of others' interests, make other person feel important. People have this craving, right? So talk to people about themselves and they will listen for hours. They listen for many hours. If you talk about only about yourself, your product and your company, your business and your self, your children, people don't listen, right? So I already said about craving to be appreciated is an important factor in every human being. That's a nature. Everybody want to be craved for appreciated. I want to be number one. I want to be, everybody have to listen. I have to be like a king. So Jesus Christ already said in 2000 years back, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. We call it like a golden rule, golden principle for human relations. And Jesus Christ says, when you expect something from others, first do it for yourself. Do it same thing to you. Okay, whatever you are expecting from the other person, try to do it from your side first. So this is what, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. So this is very important. So Charles Schwab already put it, hearty in their approbation, lavish in their praise. When you talk, when you appreciate them, be lavish. Approbation, appreciate them, lavish in their praise, in your praise, right? So now we covered part 1. Now we covered also part 2. In the part 2 already, this is a repetition. Principle 6, all the principles. Become genuinely interested in other people, smile. Remember that person's name too is that person is the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Be a good listener, encourage others to talk about them. Talk in terms of other person's interests, make the other person feel important and do it sincerely, correct? So we covered two parts. Let us come to third part. Win people to your way of thinking. We came almost half of the covered, almost half of the part. You can't win an argument. Any victory will be an empty victory. Can never obtain opponent's goodwill. Remember, feeling of importance is there for everyone. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Even if you are winning also against in the argument, you lose out. Okay. Why is like that? Argument you will never win. Argument actually talks about who is great, who is correct. Okay, so we don't want to. What we want is what is correct. We don't want who is correct. What is correct is more important. When you talk about what is correct, the argument will not come. But you can't win an argument. The only way to get the best of an argument is avoid it. So better is avoid it. Avoid it then, so that relations at least to maintain. 9 out of 10 times, an argument ends with each of the contestants more firmly convinced than ever that he is absolutely right. The more you argue, the more 9 out of 10 times they become more stiff. They say, my point is correct. My point is correct. Okay. So you cannot win. The better to avoid it. So then how shall we go ahead? Okay. So even if you win also, you lose it. Even if she wins also, you lose it, because in the mind she may be compromising. In the mind says, I am with my own, argument. I am convinced about myself, my logic. So that's how it looks like. So give up your opponents a chance to talk. Let them finish. So keep quiet, let them finish. Do not resist, defend or debate. This is very important. Do not defend or debate. When they talk their opinion, they have the right to opinion. So let them give their opinion. Look for areas of agreement. Okay, where all you can agree, look for that areas. Be honest and apologize for your mistakes, and try to first apologize. When you apologize, the other person also try to apologize for himself, because it's like a reciprocity. As Jesus Christ says, whatever you wanted, same thing will happen, right? Thank your opponent sincerely for their interest. Always thank you. When you say thank you, they also say thank you. Thank you for showing your interest. They also say, when you say sorry, they also say sorry. So this is how you have to go ahead, right? So never say you are wrong. Never say. You should never say you are wrong. But most of the people say you are wrong. Okay, that's how you end up in fightings and frictions and other things. Okay, don't use words that imply certainly. Use I think, I imagine. One thing only I know, that is no the thing. So you have to tell that I know only one thing, that is I don't know anything. So that's a words, like a humbling words, always helpful for you. Every man I meet is my superior in some way or other. That's what I learned from him. Emerson says. So that means everyone, whomever you say, maybe he may be correct also. That's how you have to go. Okay. So what is the principle to repeat it? You are never say you are wrong. Respect. Avoid arguments. Show respect for other person's opinions. Okay, very important. Maybe it could be your wife or your children, or it could be your partner or businessman or anything. Okay, never say you are wrong. Never disagree. First, try to give them chance. You tell them you have the right to give your opinion, and maybe you are right also. Maybe I'm wrong also. Sometimes I could be wrong also. So that will stop all the argument and inspire your opponent to be just as fair and open and broad-minded as you are. So how you are broad-minded, how you are open, that will open their minds also slowly. So they also come out, maybe I'm also wrong, sir. Let me also correct myself. So they come out like that. So humbling always will help. Okay. So Bible always talks about humble. When you are arrogant, naturally things will boomerang. So most of us are prejudiced and biased. Preconceived notions of jealousy, suspicion, fear, and envy and pride. We have a lot of pride and suspicion, fear, and arrogance, jealousy. We have preconceived. That's the reason we always argue. And most citizens don't want to change their minds about their religion or their haircut or communism or their favorite movie star. If I like this Salman Khan, so I like Amir Khan. So they have their own likings. We cannot change anything. So why to unnecessarily argue who is best, Salman Khan or Amir Khan? Why unnecessarily? Don't require no. So it is better to begin by saying, well, now look, I thought otherwise, but I may be wrong. Frequently I am, and if I am wrong, I want to be put it right. Let us examine the facts. That's how you have to approach. Usually maybe I may be wrong also, but let us examine the facts. Frequently usually I become wrong also. So that's how you have to go ahead. That actually creates the magic, right? So principle 3, if you are wrong, admit it, and quickly and emphatically. This is one more thing. If you are wrong, quickly admit it. Don't delay it. Don't keep it quiet. Okay, don't keep quiet. Don't become inside arrogant and egoistic and all. Come out and say, I'm so sorry, I thought like this, but unfortunately now I covered that. I'm very sorry. Admit it quickly and emphatically, strongly. You say, don't say softly, strongly. I'm so sorry. I did a mistake. I thought like this. In that case, you are correct. You tell that way, right? So now to part 3, win people to your way of thinking. What are the 12 these are the part 3's 12 principles. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Principle 2, show respect for the other person's opinion. Never say you are wrong. Principle 3, if you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. Principle 4, begin in a friendly way. Principle 5, get the other person saying yes, yes immediately. I'm going to cover the topic. Principle 6, let the other person does a great deal of talking. Principle 7, let the other person feel that the idea is his or hers. Principle 8, try honestly to see the things from the other person's point of view. Principle 9, be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. Principle 10, appeal to the nobler motives. Principle 11, dramatize your ideas. Principle 12, throw down a challenge. This is a very interesting part. Abraham Lincoln, he says, a drop of honey catches more flies than a gallon of gall. So if you keep chili powder, flies will not come. But if you keep, honey, all the flies will come. So talk sweetly, your word should be very sweet, approach should be very sweet. A drop of honey, it catches more flies, remember all the time, okay, than the gallon of gall. So with men, if you would win a man to your cause, first convince him that you are his sincere friend. This is what Abraham Lincoln says. So before approaching him, let first you let him buy you first. Then they buy your logic. Meaning first you people should believe that you are his friend, you are their friend. Let them believe, let them buy you first. Then they listen to your word. So whenever you go like a friend, not like enemy. So first you have to start like a friend. Let them feel that, leave about all the points, all the matter you are going to talk, sales you are going to do. Leave about first say, sir, I am with you. Whatever you want, I am not going to push any sales. Whatever you want to take. If you don't take also no problem. But I want you should get convinced. Then you looks like you are a friend. Then there is no resistance at all. Sir, open out whatever you want, please open out, openly tell. If you like this one, you tell me. If you don't like, also tell me. So when you go that kind of friendly way, you will get a lot of business, lot of customers. Okay, the sun can make you take off your coat more quickly than the wind and kindliness. So I'm going to share one story also a little while now. The friendly approach and appreciation can make people change their minds more readily than all the bluster and storming in the world. So in talking with people, don't begin by discussing the things on which you differ. So usually wherever things are different things are there where we don't agree. Those things don't start with. Begin by emphasizing and keep emphasizing things on which you agree. Start with the points where your agreement is there, not with the disagreement. Keep emphasizing that you are both striving for the same end. Keep on sharing. Sir, you and me want the same thing, sir. I wanted to give you the best, best clothes for whatever you wanted. I want to give the best product you wanted. So I am with you, sir. Whatever you want, I am here. So let him keep on telling that I am with you. The fifth one, the secret of Socrates, get the other person saying yes, yes immediately. So when you initially, how you talk, the initial discussion should be, when initially start with, points of, you know, agreement, and let him say yes, yes, yes. First three questions, let him say yes, yes, yes. The moment you say no, conversation gone, and you stick to your point. So don't go to the disagreement. So go to the agreement. Let him say first three, four questions, yes, yes, yes. For example, in the most of the surveys, so people put the questionnaire like this. So for example, health survey. So do you want to become healthy? Yes. Do you want to start your exercises? Yes. Do you want to drink proper water? Yes. Do you want to take fruits every day? Yes. Like that. 3, 4 after SS, then you can say, do you want to use our products? Directly instead of asking product, but go step by step. Then you say step by step. That's how the people get into conversation, right? Secret of Socrates. Get the other person saying yes, yes immediately. Ask questions where agreement is assured. Okay. He who treads softly goes far. This is one more logic, right? So when you softly tread, then you go very long way with your business or with the children or your customers or in your relationship. Get the other person saying yes, yes immediately. Don't begin by discussing the things on which you differ. Begin by emphasizing and keep on emphasizing the things on which you agree. Only difference is one method and not purpose, right? So you tell that difference is only on of methods are not of purpose. So you and we are traveling the same. Methods may be different, but purpose is the same. You have to keep informing them, right? So once you say no, his fist is closed, and he becomes his heart and nervous system, whole brain, everything works. Yeah, I don't want to compromise. I want this only. So the moment no comes, that will happen. So when the moment yes says, this will open. So don't try to get a no. Once you no gets, very difficult to go to move ahead. The Chinese proverb proves, who He who treads softly goes far. I already repeated it. The sixth one, the safety valve in handling complaints. Let the other man do a great deal of talking. So suppose somebody has a complaint. So what we should do? We should keep quiet and let the other person talk, 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 talk. So when he talks, he becomes cool and he becomes very friendly and says, I'm so sorry, sir. So during the complaints or any conversation, let him talk. You become a good listener. When you talk, when let him talk him, so he says, he will only buy instead of you selling it. He say, finally says, you are so nice person, sir. You listen so much. And tell me, sir, about your product or the business. What is that you want me to do? Then he will sign and he will buy your product. So if you disagree with them, you may be tempted to interrupt. Don't interrupt. So that's why even if you don't disagree, also don't interrupt him. So patiently listen and listen with an open mind. Be sincere about also. So don't be like a insincere, but sincerely do it from your heart. Encourage them to express their ideas fully. A mother began to realize that her daughter needed her, not as a bossy mother, but as a confidence, an outlet for all her confusion about growing up. But all she had been doing was talking when she should have been listening. She never heard her, only when she lost her voice. Very interesting story. She was, in this book was told by Dale Carnegie. He says one mother actually wanted to be bossy mother. So she wanted to change the daughter, but she was not listening only. All the time only talking, 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 shouting, shouting at her daughter. So relations get spoiled. So only one time she started, changing herself because that time her voice, she lost her voice, unable to speak. Okay, because of that, she was, daughter came late and she was only talking, talking, talking. On that day, the daughter spoke so well, so eloquently, so long, and finally came and hugged her mother, said, Mummy, I love you, I love you. So previously, in spite of telling so many things, mother couldn't able to change her. But when she lost her voice, the 2 3 days, and the daughter actually started loving her because she started telling more. So indirectly, the God is saying, you keep quiet, listen more. Okay, when the other person say, instead of you complaining, keep quiet and listen more. That's how you get your other person to your to your side. The seven one, how to get cooperation, let the other person feel that idea is his. So now your idea, let him talk that idea, let him feel that this idea is his. So then the ownership comes from them, not from you. So usually you have to tell in such a way that how should we, if I do like this, you put it such a way that they buy the idea, so that they will tell the idea, so that they will do the work. How to get cooperation, let the other person feel that idea is his or hers. The others had been, now for example, there is a nice story given. An X-ray manufacturer, a medical equipment manufacturer, wanted to sell his X-ray equipment to a doctor. So what he did was, instead of asking him to buy that X-ray machine, he started telling, sir, we have a different kind of machine. We got it recently, and it has different kind of features. I know you require that X-ray machine because of you have a great hospital, big hospital, but I don't know whether you like it or no. But I also don't know whether the features are good or no. Can we improve on this machine? Can you please come and have a look at it and just give us your advice on whether the machine is okay or no, or can we improve anything? So he asked for advice, not to buy. So he sent his car also. Then doctor came, and usually the doctor will not give so much of time. And instead of spending for 5 10 minutes, he spent for 1 hour. He went and explored all the features and said, I really like this machine. This is so nice and brilliant, and he bought it. Actually, the X-ray selling person, he did not sell it. He did not sell it. What he did, he just asked for opinion. But who bought it? The doctor bought it without selling. Got it? He thought this is my idea. So like that you have to be. Nobody had to try to sell it to me. So that is, customers always says, nobody required to sell it to me. I only bought it. They feel that greatness. A formula that will work wonders for you. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. Don't see all the time from your point of view. Look at the other person's point of view. Okay, this will definitely will be helpful for you. And principle 8, try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. Then how would I feel? How would I react if I were in his shoes? Feel that way. If I were in his shoes, how will I feel? So same way you have to feel. You have to feel that empathy, not sympathy, empathy, empathize it. Principle 9, be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires, right? What everybody wants is that sympathy. The child eagerly displays his injury or even inflicts a cut or bruise in order to reap abundant sympathy. When children fall, when the children get injured, they immediately run back to the parent, mommy, daddy, they come and run and they want to show their injury. What usually mother did, she will beat one more time. She instead of responding, she reacts. She beats. That's not expected from the child. That's not actually child expect from the mother or the father. So the children expect that they're showing the injury, see the I got so much injury. So they want the sympathy from the parent, but instead parents do actually beat them. So out of love they beat it. So they're actually reacting instead of responding. So people want all the time that sympathy. Okay, for the same purpose, even adults also they show their bruises, relate to their accidents, illness, especially details of surgical operation. They talk about their I got this operation, sir, bypass happened. I got this injury, sir. My bone got fractured. Then what to say? So you only did all the mistake. You should never, condemn them or criticize them nor pull them down. You say, oh, like that. I'm so sorry, sir. It happened. When did that happen? I'm so sorry. They want sympathy. Okay. So this is unfortunately this is true. Many people want that self, pity. Many people want that. So just have to give them sympathy. That actually heals the relationship. Then principle 10, and I appeal that everybody likes, appeal to the nobler motives. So noble motives, something is like, values. So in renting business, asking the rent on a human judgment, but I still believe you are a man of your word and live up to your contract. So when, the tenant is not giving proper rent, you tell for a noble motive. So, sir, you are a man of values. I know you don't cheat anyone. And whatever agreement is there, please give the rent accordingly. So that's how you give the calling for the nobler motives. So same way, and it's not good for youngsters to get too much publicity. So when press comes to child, to be exposed, he says, many people know, dear press people, we shouldn't give too much publicity to children. Then unnecessarily we are spoiling their, um, future. So that's how when you say that calling for a noble motives, the people usually backtrack, right? They listen. So number 3, because you are fair-minded and patient, I'm going to ask you to do something for me. I know, sir, you are fair-minded. That's why I'm asking you. Because you are patient, you are a good person. That's why I'm asking you for justice. So they are actually asking for what? Nobler motives. Okay. So, sir, this is your bill, and no, it is safe for me to ask you to adjust it just as you would do if you are the president of my company. Sir, you think that you are a president of my company, tell me how much hour you want me to adjust the bill, I will adjust for him. I'm going to leave it to all up to you. Whatever he says, okay. So you are asking actually for a noble motive. Okay, that's how you have to go ahead. So 11th point, the movies do it, radio does it, TV does it. Why don't you do it? Dramatize your idea. So dramatizing ideas also will help. So meaning, suppose a manufacturer want to sell the rat poison. Okay, what he does is instead of telling this rat poison, instead of just showing it, he does the drama. Like the two rats are there, when you put it some rat poison, it will not die, whereas if you give this rat poison, it will die. So he says, see, this works. Like that in television commercials also, you can see antacid medicine, how they show that antacid, when they drink it, immediately they get the relief. There's a drama, right? Likewise soap also, detergent, the TV drama, advertisements, they show when you apply ordinary soap, ordinary detergent, washing powder, the clothes will not become white. Where the moment you apply this, your detergent, immediately it, shines. Okay, like sun. So these are like a drama. Like when people are selling the cars or two-wheelers also, they dramatize with different, turns and curves and all this. So these are like a dramatizing. Likewise, you also have to dramatize your business. For example, you are asking customer, why don't you save money? If you buy that product, you are wasting money. So instead of telling that way, why don't you dramatize? How you dramatize? Show the money and keep in their pocket. Say, okay, not in the pocket, but keep it in the table. Sir, you are losing so much money. Not telling, but showing the money in terms of, think about 2,000 rupees you are losing if you go and buy the products there on online. Whereas if you buy from me, you get the service, you do like this, your genuine products. Unnecessarily, why to waste so much money? You're actually dramatizing. Okay. Next one. When you are showing a customer how to lose weight, so what we do is we dramatize. Suppose the customer requests lose 20 kilos. If you say just lose 20 kilos, you don't understand. You put 20 kilos weight on the head and ask him to stay there for 5 minutes, then you are dramatizing. So then he'll say, so see sir, how much weight is falling on your knees and back. That's the reason why this 20 kilos weight you require to lose. Sometimes you put it, tie it to his belly. So stomach is coming up, belly is coming out. Okay. So you have to show him extra 20 kilos means what. Suppose if you get rid of this, how back pain will go away, how the knee pains will go down. So you have to dramatize with the real examples. That's how you actually make the things done. You get the things done. And the 12th one, when nothing else work, try this. Throw down a challenge. Finally, you challenge them. Throw down a challenge. I dare you. People love to accept the challenges. We do weight loss challenges. One of the classic example. The challenge, people wanted recognition, particularly when you say top three people get 1 lakh rupees. So people love to get challenged and say, I let me win. People do wonders. They want expedition. They want opportunity to win, opportunity to show themselves. So they want to come out. Everybody have the fear, but in the fears, some people wanted to come out. So some people always, it looks like a drama. So that's the reason why challenges always works. Throw down the challenge. Who will come? We will do this business in 3 months. I will give you this gift. I will give you this vacation. People love this vacation. People love these challenges, right? Every successful person loves the game. It's like a game. That's a chance for self-expression. So it actually helps them feeling of importance. So 12 principles are very important. So now I already, let me summarize the part 1 and 2 and the 3. Now, don't criticize, be lavish in your praise, smile, remember the importance of a name, be a good listener, talk in terms of others' interest, make the other person feel important. Can't win an argument, never say you are wrong, get the other person saying yes, yes. Assume traits in people that they will appear, right? So win people your way of thinking. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Show respect for the other person's opinion. Never say you are wrong. If you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. Begin in a friendly way. Get the other person saying yes, yes immediately. Let the other person do a great deal of talking. Let the other person feel that the idea is his or hers. Try honestly to see the things from the other person's point of view. Be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. Appeal to the nobler motives and dramatize your ideas. Throw down a challenge, right? So these are the part 3 finish. So far we finished part 1, part 2, part 3. Last part, very smaller part. This is how to become a leader and how to create, how to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. This is more powerful section in this book actually. So very important for your leadership also. Be a leader. This is the topic. A leader's job often includes changing your people's attitude and behavior. So how to change people's attitude, which is very tough. People don't want to change. There are 9 principles given. Principle 1, begin with praise and honest appreciation. Principle 2, call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. Principle 3, talk about your own mistakes first before criticizing the other person. Principle 4, ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Principle 5, let the other person save face. Principle 6, praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. Be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise. Principle 7, give dog a good name, give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. Principle 8, use encouragement, make a fine reputation to live up to. Principle 9, make the other person happy about doing the things you suggest. So let us go one by one. Principle 1, begin with a praise is like the dentist who begins his work with a painkiller. So the dentist, when he gives a painkiller, though he does the pain, he has the, it will be actually painful, but because the painkiller, it is, painless. So that's the reason why you begin with a praise. That praise actually, kills the pain, so you can do the rest of the works. And honest appreciation will do. Okay. 2, a sure way of making enemies and how to avoid it. Show respect for the other man's opinions. Never tell a man he is wrong. We already discussed. Never tell that you are wrong. Okay. And anybody can tell that you are wrong, but by telling them, actually you are losing a chance. You will never win a person. Okay. It is difficult under the even most benign condition to change people's mind. So you cannot change your customers or associates or your team members or your children by saying you are wrong, but you can win by saying I may be wrong, I frequently am. Let us examine the facts. That's how those humble beginning always will help you. Nothing good happened actually by saying you are wrong. Okay. So principle 2, how to criticize and not to be hated for it. Call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. So suppose you want to tell that you are wrong, or say they're doing some mistake. How to tell them? Tell it indirectly. Okay, so this could be easily overcome by changing the word but instead of but, add and. Okay, for example, you want to say, Mr. Prasad, you are such a wonderful person, but why did you do this mistake? So actually, when you said but why you did the mistake, the whatever you initially said, all gone. So instead of saying, Mr. Prasad, you are such a wonderful person, and why how and we should not do such kind of mistake. Instead of saying but, we should not do such mistake. And so that and will help you the needful. So that means he says, okay, I'm a wonderful person. I shouldn't do mistake instead of saying but. Okay, so that actually will send the right note. So you are leaders. You will be most effective when you lead by example. You must be example for your men to follow. So you are saying, you are all leaders, gentlemen, you are all leaders, you shouldn't do like this. Instead of saying you shouldn't do like this, you are leaders, you will be most effective. You will be most effective when you lead by example. You will definitely be more effective. You will do the work done. So instead of, you are saying, instead of finding fault, you are saying actually will be most effective. You must be example for your men to follow. That's how you change the person. Okay. Likewise, so we always use proper language. You don't attack the person, attack the mistake. So, for example, what is wrong with you? If you say what is wrong with you, you are actually, hurting the person, attacking the person. Instead of saying what is wrong with you, say what is troubling you. What is troubling you makes more sense. Correct? Yes or no? So, likewise, you should keep on telling. If you are wrong, admit it. And if you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. I already said you. So, admit it quickly and emphatically. Talk about your own mistakes first before criticizing the other person. So, suppose you want to criticize the other person, you say, actually, in my engage, I also did the same mistake, but you know what happened? So if you tell like that, so they will be more, say, okay, everybody does the mistake. Sarah also did the mistake. So let me do like this. So tell about your own mistake first before criticizing the other person. Okay. And say about yourself all the derogatory things other person is thinking. So whatever foolish things you did, people are thinking about you. You only tell yourself, actually, no, I am such a foolish man. I did a lot of mistake. I try to, lose my business also. I disturbed a lot. I lost a lot of customers. Of course, I did all the things, but I don't want you to do it. That's how you should say. Any fool can criticize a person, and that actually goes in a wrong way. But you should not supposed to criticize, but you should talk for a noble cause. You should ask for his opinion. Ask, you have to win over him. That's how you win over your team. When you are right, try to win the people gently and tactfully to our way of thinking. And when you are wrong, let us admit our mistakes quickly and with enthusiasm. So with this is also admit your mistakes. Number 4, the high road to a man's reason, begin in a friendly way. So don't start in a rough way, begin in a friendly way. You want to change a person, start with good things like, you might consider this, sir. Do you think that would work? What do you think of this? Like that way, very beginning, like a suggestive way. Instead of giving orders, gentleman, Mr. Prasad is supposed to do like this. So instead of giving orders, you say suggestion kind, why don't you try, you might be consider this, do you think that it would be do, what do you think of this, maybe if you were to phrase, if this could be better. So try in a different phrase. Okay, he never told his assistant to do things, let them to do them, let them to learn from their own mistakes. Let them, give them some time so that they learn by little doing mistakes. Little mistakes, if you can tolerate, it will be great, because the amount of damage it will be done to their soul, okay, is great. Whereas if you allow little leverage, then they will be with you forever. You have to win over them so that lifelong they'll be with you. It encourages cooperation instead of rebellion. Otherwise, you end up in rebellion, rebellious downline, rebellious people, rebellious customers, rebellious associates with you, so rebellious children. Instead, if you want their cooperation, be encouraging. Okay, asking questions not only makes an order more palatable, it often stimulates the creativity of the persons whom you think. So suggestions go with in terms of question. Asking questions actually gives a lot of creativity also. So that's the reason I begin in a friendly way. Okay, and friendliness always will helpful. There is one nice story about the sun and the wind, and the wind and the sun both try to talk to each other, says who is powerful. So initially wind says, I am very powerful, I can do wonders. See, I can move any person. See, people get scared of me. Okay, so what it does, it takes one old man and maybe young man, and he tries to push the entire wind, blows the wind like whirlwind or any kind of wind, so that he will remove the coat. So their goal is who will remove the coat. So wind tries to, win over him by putting lot of wind over him. The more wind is coming, he started, you know, protecting his coat. He's not removing the coat. So he tried to do, wind tried to do in a harsh way. But whereas the sun gently smiles after the wind losing will given up. Wind says, I can no more influence this man. But sun understand that you shouldn't go in a very fearful way, go in a soft way. So what it does is sun slightly smiles, meaning little more heat it increases. Naturally, he immediately removes the coat. That means what? In a friendly way, gentle way, you can win anybody instead of harsh way, violent way, right? Very important to understand. This is the wind and the sun story. And when you wanted to correct any person, you let him save his face also. Okay, so principle 5, let the other person save his face. Finding fault, issuing threats, criticizing a child or an employee in front of others without even considering the hurt to the other person's pride, this is not at all good. We are actually killing the other person's. It's like a cutting the person with a knife. Okay, his heart is cut, soul is cut, he bleeds inside, though the words will do so much of damage. So don't find fault, don't give threats. Okay, you cannot criticize the child or employee in front of others. So maybe take him to private and criticize, but in the public you have to appreciate anyone, right? And considering the hurt, so in front of other persons you should not do it. It actually gives that like pride look from your side, egoistic look. Hurting a man in his dignity is a crime. Actually, in his dignity you are hurting, that's also like a crime. He assured me in front of my colleagues that he had faith in me, and I knew I had done my best, and that my lack of experience, not my lack of ability, was the reason for the failure. Meaning, he said very politely but gently, he said, "You did mistake not because you don't, lack ability. You have a lot of abilities, but lack of experience actually helped. So don't worry, this will be done. Maybe next time if you try, you got already experience, you will win over. You will do because you have a lot of ability. Not you failed not because of your lack of ability, lack of experience. So you felt very nice. You said correct, no? My sir said it is because of lack of my experience. Now you see next time I will win over. So you will do the same job and you will get the things done. So that's how you have to tell him. Let the other person save his face. Principle 6, how to spur people to on to success. Praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. Be hearty in your approbation, lavish in your praise. So this what I said, remember in the animals also, how you change the animal behavior. Okay, how to make the animals into circus, right? So animals like tigers and lions and elephants, by by recognizing them, by praising them, by rewarding them instead of punishing them, correct? Same way, for smallest improvement, praise them. Wow, you lost 5 kilos, wow, very good. You lost 10 kilos, great. Like this, I made 5,000 rupees, great. If you had 10,000 rupees, great. So like that, keep on giving, rewarding them, inspiring them, recognizing them. That actually goes a long way. That's how actually help them to improve themselves instead of criticism. Don't give criticism, you are a useless fellow, you are waste, you nothing is happening, instead of doing that way. So if you can able to give this reward or praise, this will actually goes a long way in improving them relationship. The children were doing very far more right things than the wrong ones. You tell that my children are doing very good things instead of wrong ones. So what they do, they try to improve on themselves. This works on the job too. In the job, in the business also, it does the work the same. Remember, we all crave appreciation, recognition, and we'll do almost anything to get it. We all crave for recognition, but nobody wants insincerity. Nobody wants flattery. So don't do it flattery, but do it sincerity. Sincerely, we wish them for success, they will do it. And next principle, give a dog a good name. Give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. Okay. If you give them chance to live up to good recognition, good name, you will do. Assume a virtue if you have it on, if you have it not. Shakespeare says, virtue. Okay, give a dog, give the other person a fine reputation. If you want to improve a person in a certain aspect, act as though that particular trait were already one of his or her outstanding characteristic. That's how you have to behave. So suppose you want to say hard work. So I know Mr. Prasad, you are very hardworking Prasad. I know Mr. Srinivas, you are very hardworking person. I know. So when you say you are hardworking person, you are giving its name, him a name, expecting that you will do it. I know, Mr. Sachin, you will perform your best. I know your attitude. I know you will not stop practicing. You will practice it. When you say that you will do it, so you try to live up to that expectation, right? Give them a fine reputation to live up to, and they will make a prodigious efforts rather than you disillusion. Okay, there is an old saying: give a dog a bad name, and you may as well hang him. But give him a good name and see what happens. When you give a good name, a dog, so it see how it happens is it will try to live up to its expectations. So it's always admire, say people, you are good, you are very hardworking, you will do it, you can do it. So those will actually help them to live up to their expectation. Principle 8, make the fault seem easy to correct. Use encouragement, make a fine reputation, live up. If they do mistake, you say it's okay, small mistake, you will definitely correct it. I'm sure you will definitely come out of this. So that's how you have to encourage. You say that easy to correct, very simple to correct. Instead, if you say you are stupid, you are useless fellow, you did all mistake inside of selling, so actually you actually kill their psyche, kill their creativity, kill everything. So that's actually lose the relation and you lose the person also. Almost last principle, principle 9, making people glad to do what you want, make the other person happy about doing the thing you suggest. So this technique of giving titles on and authority worked for Napoleon. So Napoleon used to do like this. Napoleon, emperor used to do like this. When he wanted to get the things done, make the person happy by giving the titles. Suppose you want to say this is your admiral, major, you are major general, you are admiral, you are so and so, you are the king, assistant to king, something like that. Titles that actually helps people to live up to their expectations. In the business also people do, like you are manager, assistant manager, general manager, okay, country manager, something like that. So that actually makes them to work very hard. Ask yourself, what is that the other person really wants? Ask, expect. What is that you wanted, a trophy or medal? Give them whatever they wanted, they will definitely win over. Match those benefits to the other person's wants. When you make your request, put it in form that will convey to the other person the idea that he personally will benefit. So when you are saying something, you let him know that by doing this you will get benefited. So show him what benefits you'll get by doing this. Okay, so here is an example. John, we have a job that should be completed right away. If it is done now, we won't be faced with it later. Yeah, I'm bringing some customers to in tomorrow to show our facilities. I would like to show them the stock room, but it is in poor shape. If you could sweep it out, put the stock in neat piles on the shelves and polish the counter, it would make us look efficient, and you will have done your part to provide a good company image. So actually, he's asking him to sweep the storeroom and clean the desk, everything. But he is telling in a different way. John, tomorrow our customers are coming. If you can do this, make it clean. So you are giving the good image to the company. So then he says, yeah, the company actually gets good image because of me. That kind of, the feeling will come. So make the other person feel happy about the doing the things you suggest. These are the principles. So I finished my presentation. Be a leader. Already said, begin with praise and honest appreciation. Call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. Talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Let the other person save face. Praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. Be hearty in your approbation, lavish in your praise. Give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. Use encouragement. Make the fault seem easy to correct. Make the other person happy about doing the things you suggest. We finished. So let me repeat about myself. I was a Group 1 officer before. I worked in government of Andhra Pradesh for 10 years. I'm a nutritionist and fitness consultant, personal wellness coach for the work for the past 18 years. I'm a certified nutrition fitness consultant, certified sport nutrition consultant, certified exercise specialist. I got also certification American Society of Nutrition, marathon runner, cyclist, CPR AD certified, Zumba and Strong by Zumba instructor. We also got lifetime achievement from Herbalife Nutrition. If you want to join us, if you want to talk to us,
These are the phone numbers, Instagram, Facebook, website, and YouTube. Address is there, email is there. You can talk to us, meet us. And if you like this presentation, winning friends and influencing people, please like and subscribe this video and my channel, and also click on the bell icon for constant updates. And if you really like the present, please share it also to many people. Many people may be looking for this kind of presentation that may be helpful for many people to, go to next level, maybe help their children, maybe become like a better parents, better children, better businessman, better student, better teachers, for anything. This will be lot helpful many people. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. And if you wanted to join us, our company, our business, we are free to join. If you already not joined, please call to us, email to us. If you already joined, please talk to your coach. Okay, if you did not join, if you want to looking for some opportunity, please share with us, talk to us and message us. And wish you all the best. Thank you so much for your attention. All the best to you. Bye.